Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Lenovo Law Collegiate League. Again, this is going to be the final battle of the day between some of siguro yung two best teams na siguro sa league natin ito, at least for South Luzon. We're going to be your shoutcasters for tonight. I'm Amplifier. I'm here with Shinbu, and we've got, again, the final battle with which I think all of us have been waiting for.
Yes, of course, with one for an eye, ladies and gentlemen. At bago tayo pumasok sa ating laban na pinaka-aantay between the top two teams, MCL versus UPLB, ang nanalo po para sa ating Search and Win trivia question would be Mr. Jared Mariano. Ayan, Mr. Jared Mariano, ang kanyang sinagot na tanong ay sinong players mula sa ating Game 5 ang sawi? Ayan, okay? At ang tamang sagot ay si DWC Iniwan. Ayan. Okay? Alam na alam, kitang-kita pa lang sa pangalan ano yung sinasabi. DWC Iniwan, siya po yung yun yung sinagot. Yun yung sagot daw na tama. We still yet to contact DWC Iniwan.
Kung iniwan ba talaga siya?
Ano yung background dito, if it's really related to love or league, dalawa lang naman yan para sa ating mga summoners. Now here we go, ladies and gentlemen, again, this is MCL, Malayan Colleges of Laguna versus UPLB, University of the Philippines, Los Baños Campus. Quick background for these two teams is, again, they are at the top 2 spot. But in terms of winnings, mas marami yung winnings dito ng Malayan Colleges of Laguna, given though na mas marami silang games na nilaro. So far, both of them are sitting on 1 lose. Okay, isa lamang ang talo nila. But the difference here, the big difference here as well is that UPLB only lost a game against De La Salle Dasma because they defaulted.
Yeah. So yun lang. Yung loss nila, default lang
yun.
So technically, kung nandun sila, baka all wins yun.
Malaking hindi siya reflection talaga. Hindi siya direct reflection. It may be a reflection of the discipline of the team, but definitely not a reflection of their skill because so far, lahat ng wins po nila is clearly a statement of how good this team is. Do take note that they actually qualified for the top 4. But what happened is they defaulted then as well, okay? Kasi yung isang player nila actually got banned, okay? Prior to the continuation nung ating last split. And ayun yung nangyari. For the most part, lagi silang go big or go home, fight as a squad. And so, for this case, super karamihan ng mga talo, I'd say, or so far by history, yung mga pumipigil lamang dito sa UPLB on their tracks on winning or maybe the championship para dito sa ating Lenovo LCL ever since the last term is yung mga defaults lang, yung mga ganitong situation. Ayan. But of course, you want the UPLB would want to win this one. If ever they want to, don't want it to cut it too close, diba? Para sa MCL. Kasi there is, of course, placements and seeds. Pag nagka-qualify ka and if you finish in the number 1 spot. Kasi do take note na dito sa ating South Luzon Conference, yes, so far yung mga games natin initially, they've been battling it out for the number 3 spot. But this time, it is clearly a battle for the number 1 spot. Ayan. Of course, seeing the game kanina, the way UPLB played, there's the expectations in that, especially fighting an amateur team. A rookie team, I'd say. A rookie team mula sa Divine Word College. What's interesting here is the playstyle of Daigo. Of course, one of the notable players dito ng UPLB Honor at Excellencia, knowing that this is actually a star player in the past ng isa sa mga powerhouse team naman sa BGS, which is Naga Esports. Now, from the mid lane, magiging top lane siya. Kanina, his gangplank has no teleport. Rather gonna go for the, there's a luxury of pulling no teleport top lane. Just go for the exhaust on this gangplank. But this time, let's go for all the standards as we dive in the final game, ladies and gentlemen. Game 6, UPLB versus MCL into the drafting phase.
Alright, so for the bans for UPLB, that's going to be Corky, Trundle, and Bard being banned on their side. Meanwhile, MCL are going to be banning Zed, Lucian, and Gangplank. So ayun na po na makita ng Malayan Colleges Laguna yung Gangplank na ito si Daigo. And looking at the picks, Kled locked in immediately for Daigo, one of his specialties, of course, and something he seems uniquely him in our league.
Hindi binan ng MCL, no?
Yeah, exactly. Which was also actually banned earlier, so it's now free for Daigo to lock in. Meanwhile, Malayan Colleges Laguna are going to be picking probably their bot lane first. This is going to be Thresh and Caitlyn. Thresh sort of moving up on the support here, and Caitlyn has always been there. So this is going to be a pretty safe bot lane at least. What will UPLB lock in? Lulu?
No priority on Lulu though. That's what I've seen mula sa MCL. No Lulu on MCL despite it being open. Whereas UPLB blind picking, it's a given naman. It's very likely without it getting banned, yun nga, may magkakakled tayo. So, now we get a Jhin though. Instead of, Lucian is banned though. So, with the Lucian ban, we get a Jhin paired with this Lulu.
Yeah, so I guess, no, kapag wala talaga si Lucian, it's either you default to things like Ashe, Ezreal, Jhin, Varus, the usual. So we'll be seeing Lulu being locked in. So I guess it's safe to assume that since MCL did not lock in Lulu first, this is probably one of Big Bardy's comfort picks. And aside from Bard, obviously Big Bard. So
yes, may ban nga actually ang UPLB against Big Bard.
Yeah, exactly. So that's gonna be Sejuani and Darius being locked in immediately for MCL. Sejuani, like a very strong AoE damage coming from their side.
Oo, Sejuani, no? Interestingly, okay.
Something we don't see often, considering our recent pulls with all of the Lee Sins popping out everywhere.
Yeah,
it's gonna be Graves, Oriana, possibly the final. Oh, will they lock it in? Yes, they will. So it's going to be Graves and Oriana finally for UPLB, and the last pick looking like the mid lane.
Yeah.
And who will they lock into face Oriana?
Magiging message dito ng UPLB is that they rely the tankiness on Daigo, which is actually Kled is not directly a tank.
Yeah,
he's actually a duelist. He's a duelist in my opinion. And yep, right now, final hover dito and a lock-in by Malayan Colleges of Laguna, a Twisted Fates, which is clearly a statement na ito yung mid laner na kayang-kayang pumunta sa side lanes, whether it is in the bot lane or maybe if they plan to shut down Daigo in the top lane. Because, you know, among all top laners, if we'd like to unlock all top laners na pwedeng sumabay sa isang Kled in the top lane, I'd say it's Darius.
Yeah, so this is going to be a very interesting game. All eyes on this Kled of Daigo because again, it is one of his comfort picks, and yun nga, gaya na sinabi namin kanina, star player nga si Daigo, especially from back during his PGS days.
Yes, based on the last stream game netong ating South Luzon Conference, napakalaki ng contribution ng Kled dito ni Daigo, and for the most part, owned niya yung laning phase on this top lane. We know naman how good of a laner is si Darius, even despite the nerfs here. But yung nerfs na yon, parang na-offset lang yon with the adjustments na parang naging buff na changes on the Black Cleaver. Changes on the Black Cleaver, which goes for more defensive. So mas mababa yung risk while you're rushing the Black Cleaver on Darius. The thing about Darius is once you completed the Black Cleaver, puro ka na offensive.
Although I guess yung big question dito, kahit from a champion perspective, yes, kaya naman ni Darius si Kled. But from the player perspective of Daigo, facing the top laner of Malayan College, like ganong ka wide ba yung agwat nila sa skill level? That's really what we're looking at here. Kasi again, Daigo, may professional experience siya.
Yes.
So that's really what they have to be careful with here, because even if Darius can handle the Kled, we don't know if they can handle Daigo.
The thing about Daigo is hindi lang siya professional experience. He's like a player who you can easily line up along with the ranks of Light, EXO, maybe not now, but during his prime,
during his prime
in PGS. Ayan, ladies and gentlemen, we are now on Game 6, the final game. Definitely a worthwhile one to watch dito sa ating Lenovo LCL 2017 Spring sa ikalaunang araw ng ating kapitong linggo. Again, just for a quick announcement, ladies and gentlemen, para sa mga Globe and TM subscribers natin ng mga summoners, again, your Garena shells, you can buy that at www.gamer.com.ph. Of course, using your prepaid or postpaid phones. Hindi nyo na kailangan lumabas. Mismong sa phone nyo na lang pwede na kayong magkaroon or makabili ng Garena shells, in availing all those awesome skins for League of Legends. Let's get into the game.
Alright, so standard lane so far.
Yep.
We've got a Star
First
Guardian
items.
Blood Moon bot lane being rocked here.
Medyo magkalayo yung tema.
Medyo opposite yung team nila.
Yung outer space, mala Sailor Moon na peg. Ganyan. Habang yung isa naman ay mala Ninja Assassination Blood Moon na peg. Standard items here. Nothing really much for an outlier.
Interesting though, Ancient Coin for Thresh. So that's going to be into Talisman, which will probably be for heavy engage. So halata na MCL will really be looking for those full engage team fights, which is telling from their team comp. Kasi pag titignan mo when you see their team comp, Sejuani, Darius, Thresh, Twisted Fate, that's like full on pick and team fight composition.
Not just the engage. It can be said then na, may enchant yung team mo ng movement speed enough to go on par with the movement speed na given nasa side ngayon ng UPLB. You got the Oriana Dissonance, you got the Lulu movement speed, and even the Kled. Lalo na yung Kled ultimate. Yung movement speed niyan. So, at least hindi ka basta-basta mahabol once napindot mo yung ancient, yung talisman na yan of Ascension. What's interesting here is actually it provides more gold as well, easily, compared sa, conditional kasi ang gold ng Spell Tips, and of course the Relic Shield as well. So, But of course, it will lack some stats na kailangan mo in terms of trade-off and combats compared dito sa UPLB. So we'd be seeing, I guess we'd be seeing a more conservative box lane here despite
maybe.
having a trash.
Yun
Let's
lang,
see.
yung range ni Caitlyn, Jin needs to be careful kasi isang hook lang, masakit na agad ang punishment yan from the Caitlyn Thresh. So, you have to be a bit careful. Pag-usapan natin kanina during the pick and ban na when you look at UPLB's team composition, medyo mag-worry ka kasi wala silang solid na front line.
Yan.
So, if Daigo,
Minus Daigo
does his job of diving to the backline, si Lulu lang ata makakapag-save dito kay Jin if ever Darius moves in to the backline. So, they have to be very careful, especially when it comes to team fight movement. Kasi the moment nga na makalapit itong Darius at si Juani, it looks very grim for Jin.
What we want to mention here is that yung klase ng frontline na kayang i-withstand yung damage ng maramihan. Kasi, again, mas oriented, mas leaned doon, mas directed doon si Darius. Compared sa isang Kled, you know, on tanking multiple targets. Lalo pa si Darius, the more champions he hits with the Deathmate, the more health regen and health refund
Tsaka may kahati sa damage yung MCL kasi Darius at Juani Thresh, sila lahat pwede silang mag-tank. Pero yung UPLB, probably ang gusto lang dyan mag-tank is si Kled and well, maybe Graves to an extent. Pero it's quite unreliable.
Duel
so
talaga.
In the end, UPLB will probably be looking for the small 2v2, 3v3 skirmishes around the map. But still, nakakatakot pa rin yun.
You consider the clear struggle of Daigo against the Darius. Actually, it's Lucy's setting up the initial shove against Daigo.
Yeah, I guess for Kled, no, kailangan mo hintayin talaga yung 2 to 3 item spike niya before he really starts to deal damage.
Yeah, not to mention, ang laking damage yung nawawala sa kanya because of this Doran shield.
Yeah, very true.
Again, guys, itong laning phase na to falls heavily on the junglers and I would say it leans more in favor of the Graves. Kahit medyo hindi ganun kapotent yung crowd control ng Graves dito. Kung may follow-up, kung usapang damage, syempre, si Slay ang gagawa nun. First blood against Johnny.
Ganda naman ang timing nun. He gets the Q easy return damage on the wall and then Thunderlord. So, a really nice burst there coming over from Slane. So, good kill.
Along with coordination on Eminem, connecting the full combo ng command attack tsaka ng dissonance.
So, we'll have to see. Yun na nga, pre-6, Sejuani is not really that much of a threat. So she'll have to farm as quickly as she can para post-6 they can really get the work done. I imagine in terms of TP plays, Darius will have to do his best as well so that this Caitlyn can get the snowball rolling. Kasi sobrang ganda actually ng pag-side lane gank ng MCL because Sejuani, Darius, TP, and then the Twisted Fate ult, like all of that is really nice for side lane setup. So if Thresh gets a single hook, you can imagine yung respo agad ng MCL. Sobrang ganda.
Totoo. No, not this one though. There's gonna be lockdown, deadly flurries dito. Lots of damage coming in mula sa bottom duo ng UPLB. And I'd say nga, you know, malaking problema to kasi yung face of the mountain nga, may binibigay pa yun sa yung regeneration, may binibigay yun sa yung, you know, dead health. Pero dito, that doesn't seem to be the case. And you know, Big Bardy may think twice on overstaying in this lane right now. Both of them are in a very, very dangerous spot. Pasalamat na lang sila na merong reload mechanic itong si Jin. Kaya may pagka-conditional yung damage niya. Pero
it's very scary kasi yung upfront damage na ilalagay ni Caitlyn, threatened siya eh. Kasi kahit lumapit si Thresh, the moment na masisi ng W nitong si yung deadly flourish ni Jin, it's like the burst is really a big threat from both Lulu and Jin.
The lower your health is, the higher the damage of the fourth. So that's one. So, it can be said na nasa theoretical kill range na dito. Kanina, si Big Bardy. Not to mention, Asok as well, who has the lower regeneration, forced to use his first biscuit or pots here compared to Ben, who's still holding on to it.
Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see. Approaching level 6.
Yep.
Nakakatakot na.
There, Kled's gonna go for the all-in trade, knowing Lucy's though. Will he make that? Okay, ladies and gents, and still Daigo steps up against the Darius. There's the icon ng Noxian Guillotine pero didn't inaantay pa yata ni Luis to put the timing one final Q.
Si Lucis saved his flash. He could have actually flashed and then ulted for the outplay, pero
Yeah.
he wasn't able to pull that one off. So Daigo does get the kill, and that's not just going to be a kill, that's going to be a whole minion wave.
And might be a whole fight as well here in the bot lane.
Oh,
Next
no!
sentence mula kay Slane. Sino ang target nila? Medyo pa iba-iba. Teleport naman gagaling mula syempre dito kay Lucis who will go down first. Deadly Flurry steps by Guardian.
Oh!
Here comes the Orianna. Shockwave with the 2 members. Asuka and Johnny as well with 4 members here of MCL focusing on Eminem. But things are looking so sad for them as Ben's in front line.
Oh!
Bullet double kill into the ADC. Here comes Daigo. Puts in the rope dito kay Lucis with
Oh my
5
God.
members of UPLB just going big. 5-0 instantly. Might be a Mountain Drake. Yes, it is. Honor at Excelencia.
Man, 30 seconds to a 2,400 gold lead for UPLB.
Damn.
Plus this Mountain Drake, sobrang laking advantage agad na nakuha ng UPLB from
Yeah,
that
man.
single engage. And I just have to say, sobrang messy nun. At
Yes.
first, it looked like MCL might have had the lead kasi Thresh got the hook.
Yeah, pero
but
different
after
targets.
that, sobrang messy ng
Yeah.
clash nila.
Different targets. Different targets. That's what I'd say. Dalawang na target nila. At the time, it's very rewarding if you focus your one target. Even Benz knows how to gauge his damage and understands sino yung pwede makapatay sa kanya. Let's check on the replay. What
Yeah,
exactly
so there, again, the hook, they were able to pull Slane into the clash. Pero the problem was, yun, sobrang diversified ng pag-target nila sa iba-ibang champions. So even with the Shockwave in, again, Orianna not doing much damage just yet, I know, at this moment, they completely lost kasi all of the members got so low and they didn't kill any key targets. So they spent so much time trying to poke different targets that yung UPLB, pagpasok nila, sobrang focus na ng pag-target nila. So they were able to get their key kills, good priority on their targets, and that was a generally good clash.
Oh, and I apologize guys. Iba ng pangalan. Dating pangalan ng UPLB's Honor at Excelencia.
Ah.
Excelsior.
Yeah.
Ayan, Excelsior. Yun na yung bagong pangalan dito ng University of the Philippines, Los Baños. Yun yung dati nilang pangalan.
Yeah.
So, ayan, umikli nung sumali si Daigo. Now, in the top lane, once again,
Oh my
trade up,
God.
and you can see how Daigo takes full control of this top lane. You can see the dueling prowess and
Your
of
flash,
course, the
man.
health, but Lucy's, of course, under turret. Daigo would still go for it. The
Whoa!
ultimate, not quite. Again, if you overstayed actually on that bear trap on the rope, mas mataas yung damage.
Yeah.
Nung return damage, nung pull out, Lucis did not, may have miscalculated it.
And again, both times, flash is up. Again, both times flash are up. Lucy's being over-aggressive with that. Oh, no!
Okay, flash out the shockwave. Clearly, this is an easy kill. Given in the ranks of MCL.
Medyo
6-2.
overkill pa ngayon. Hindi na kailangan yung
no flash.
SSC sa Juani siguro.
Yes.
Pero anyway, that is still a kill going over to Sejuani, and that is a sort of bonus for MCL to try and get back into the game. 2,000 gold lead still at 9 minutes in.
Yes, of course. Bakit kaya, no? Malaking tanong talaga, hindi ginagamit yung flash dito ni Darius na sobrang nagmamatter yung pagpapapanalo ng trade. And, walking into a wall, getting the blind. Clearly, that is now a mistake there by Johnny. You don't do that.
Second time to happen also. So, Slane having a good time. Di na nga niya kailangan ng second man eh. Just dashes in for the kill, and that's going to be a mid lane turret for them. Plus the burn damage, can he secure? Yep, that's going to be a minion wave as well. Next Drake is going to be another Mountain Drake. So that is going to be just UPLB melting objectives if they get the second Drake.
Slane even predicting the Arctic Assault there by Vonnie here. Ladies and gentlemen, if we want MCL, Malayan Colleges to get back in this game, there might be an early call for them to group up. There might be an early call for them to group up. Teleport, accounting for it, few seconds would be available. But if we account for the items as well, good thing, hindi pa ganun ka-behind si Asuka dito. Even in terms of CS, ang tanging lamang-lamang dito ni Benz is he got a second completed component item tier 2 in the hands of a Caulfield's Hammer. So, this Essence River. Okay, Jin. Alright. So, gonna go for the crit type. Jin, not gonna rush the lethality, no? Interestingly. Okay. But again, the lead is there. There's actually around, this is clearly a more than 4K gold lead. Early on, 11 minutes into the game by UPLB with champions very capable of pushing that lead further.
Let's see what's gonna happen here. Grabe, 30 CS lead na.
Daigo, okay, did not receive the Deadly Flourish. Now there's gonna be a lack of crowd control there. Of course, you could see as well that Orianna is actually rotating in the mid lane. They should start pinging. Yes, they did in the Tribe Rush.
They're gonna push in and then go for the tower dive, but there's a ward at the river.
This is gonna be big though pag na-counter to ni Johnny, but rather tinigilan na to ni Eminem.
So they're gonna be backing out. And again, Daigo with a 30 CS lead, Black Cleaver, and pushing in top lane as much as this bot lane is pushing. So side lane.
Teleport though.
Really
Teleport
bad.
to bot
Oh!
lane. Here comes a flash na magagaling mula kay Barty. He gets removed here as Daigo will join this fight as well. Losing their awkward spot. 3 members will collapse onto him as Daigo does the work under turret. Oh my god,
Oh
look
my
at that.
god.
That is just too much. Just a massacre is to be done here by the squad. Excelsior of UPLB. Double kill. Even Dash won't go down. And that is cleanly done by the UPLB squad. 4-0 and outer bottom lane turret as well sa kanilang pockets.
Grabe, nakita natin, there were 2 sides to that fight.
Yeah.
Yung isang top laner, 1v3.
Yeah.
Yung isa, 1v3. But the difference was, Kled was far more fed than the, Darius was. So
Sobra.
clearly, kahit under turret, si Daigo, kinaya pa rin niya. So yeah, again, looking at that fight though, double TP. So we had responses from both top laners. They had the Lulu ult pop, but again, this fight separates. Daigo goes over to the other side, and Darius goes over to the other side. Actually, 2v1 siya versus 3v1, so clearly Lucius was on the back end, or on the ugly side of that fight, and he couldn't take that. And then clearly, from this point, it's just a cleanup.
And
Double kill for Jin.
I'd give that micro play as well on Dash. He actually flashed in. Also a brush na walang ward. Hindi nakapag-ultimate si Lucis. So that's one. At least that could have been a retaliation or a trade-up kill para sa MCL dito. Because right now, UPLB
7k gold lead.
and clearly bearing its fang against one of the contenders for the top 1 spot, saying that this is my throne. Right now, clearly MCL, it's anybody's game still, but this is very dangerous. This is very dangerous. Okay, the way how UPLB champions are snowballing this game.
Yeah, it's really almost seems like it's out of control. Drake is coming up in a few seconds, and
this is not the champions kasi na ano eh. Hindi kasi ito yung champions na nagpo-follow.
Yeah.
Ito yung mga champions that really benefits even in the late game.
Yeah.
As steadily they get kills. That's the problem here by MCL.
Yun na nga, yung laning phase kasi, once it goes in favor of a team comp like UPLB, it can really get out of control. Kled, Orianna, Jin, all scale well. This is going to be a free Mountain Drake, going to be the second one, and objectives will melt really quickly at this point. That's going to be an insane amount of true damage to objectives, and Kled continuing to bully Lucis in this top lane. Wala sila magawa, really. It's just really so difficult. And yung weaknesses tuloy, na na-mention natin during the pick and ban, have been compensated for because of how crazily all of them snowballed. So, even if MCL wanted to secure a team fight, parang yung UPLB yung may control lagi kung kailan maglalaban eh. So they just go for the engages whenever they want.
Oh my god, I'm hearing the banners of Kled here to be casted. Bonnie will receive the crowd control as well. Second bullet, make that a third bullet, missing. Fourth bullet hits Janny here. Daigo would be able to join the mid lane fight as this is a showing of UPLB's macro play as well. They know when to put timing and make it engage in a certain lane. Should ever hindi kill yung habol nila, just go for the push.
Exactly, and mid lane, barely surviving. Sobrang konti na lang HP niya. So at this point, sobrang daming options sa UPLB because all of the lanes are pushing. So they can just move from lane to lane and slowly choke out the resources from MCL. There's the W!
Oh, this is gonna be bad. Big Barty gets caught out. May manage to actually land on the backs. At least stops the follow-up engage pa dito ng UPLB if ever meron pa silang gustong kunin. And I'm still yet to see any stellar... Oh, the old win is on cooldown. Okay.
Yeah. Ginamit na kanina eh. So they're just, again, there. So see, you just move from mid lane, they get the inner turret, they move to top lane because it's also pushing. Then after that, they'll recall, set up maybe for Rift Herald, move to bot lane. It's just, you know, one step at a time kasi nga, sobrang laki na ng lead.
Yes.
Too early.
Keep in mind, early. This is too early.
16 minutes pa lang tayo.
Yeah,
at 8,000. 8,000 na.
8,000 and even in the inner turrets na yung pinagtatrabahuan dito ng UPLB. There's gonna be the two-man shockwave. All of the follow-up. Daigo in the front line. But rather, the one who's gonna be taking third hits would be State. Kill is given until Lucis. Now in the afterlife, it's a 2-4-1. Pero ayan nga, sobrang early nito, guys. Inner top lane turret and UPLB is already knocking onto the inhibitor turrets. Ni wala pang Baron para kunin itong game na to. So walang choice ang UPLB. Walang no choice. But rather push for the inhibitor turrets or maybe even just really put in the pressure against MCL.
Yeah, grabe. Hindi ma-withstand na MCL yung pressure because of how crazily The game has snowballed and Ben's getting caught!
Hindi pa rin available yung ultimate dito ni Bonnie and he might be
Oh,
available as
wow.
well. Yung mismong champion. Exhaust on Asuka.
Oh.
Good thing he has the range. Big Barty. There's gonna be the flash in by Lucis. Gets the decimate on Benz. In the backline, there is Daigo. Receives the ultimate shut down by Johnny. The chase is on. Ace in the hole. Flash in by Dash to save his mid laner. Not gonna kill him though. Johnny will still go for the chase. Gets slowed. Rather will try to dodge that Glitter so, yep, at least that is the push of UPLB stopped by MCL.
Yeah, I mean, they just overstayed there. Pero
Yeah.
looking at this crash, so, yeah, I mean, actually, there's not really much to say about this crash because even it just shows how big the game has snowballed. Because even if, you know, no matter what MCL tries to do to respond to the actions of UPLB, wala silang ma-return. They can't get a return kill.
Yes.
Wala silang ma-salvage. So they lose a member, they lose a turret, and then they lose an inhib turret. So it's just kind of out of control too early on in the game. So, I mean, if I were them, the best thing MCL could do is try to slow it down.
Yes.
But I don't know
Kung
if they can
papayagan
slow it
sila,
down that
ng
much.
UPLB. Ang pwede lang i-capitalize the idea na naubos yung objectives na malapit sa UPLB dito. So, what happens is that UPLB may be trying to make uncalculated decisions na ay medyo kailangan natin kunin yung Rip Herald ng mas maaga kaysa sa plano natin. Actually, wala yata silang plano talaga kunin yung Rip Herald. Talagang meron lang silang luxury ngayon. So,
actually,
that's one.
bonus na lang yun eh.
Kung by that time sana na habang nagre-Rip Herald yung UPLB, merong isolated na champion, yun sana yung na-pick up nila.
Yeah.
Pero that's not the case anymore as the Rip Herald will go to UPLB, more so in the hands of Daigo.
Yeah, so that's really just an obvious choice and they can actually just do whatever they want. Probably going to go for the 104. Yeah, Kled going with the Rip Herald over to top and then the rest of the members.
Yeah, could
just
go
have
for the
to-
mid, rotate for the bot lane as well.
Yeah, just use that wave clear with the Lulu Chin and the Orianna
Yeah.
to really push in.
Yeah, the macro play here, guys, is that a stall by UPLB and wait for the Baron.
Yeah.
Or maybe they'll like get lucky pickups. Again, the ideal scenario would be UPLB making the mistake of getting complacent, go for multiple champion tower dive, and under turret, ultimate ni Sejuani.
Yeah.
Yun na lang talaga yung nakikita ko kasi if you get locked down by the Sejuani ultimate tapos mabagsakan ka ng box ni Crash under turret, that's lots and lots of damage appended to the minimal damage ngayon na nagagawa ng MCL just because they are behind.
Yeah, I mean, Malayan College's Laguna needs a miracle
Yes,
to get
yes.
back into this game. Pero yun nga, I mean, if they can get that Dream Sejuani ult to 5-man
Box.
damage from Darius, if they can get the 5-man pentakill
Pwede.
sweeping,
Nako.
syempre ang ganda nun. Pero, di ba, April Fools,
Balls
baka
moment.
mangyari. So, let's hope. Let's hope that it can happen.
Okay.
10,000 gold lead at 20 minutes in, and UPLB have just been completely dominating this game from the very beginning.
And they have to account for the Orianna ball position as well. Again, every shockwave, kahit pa sa mga tanky targets dito ng MCL, will prove to be very dangerous. The damage from that Q dissonance from Thunderlords. Here comes the initiate, ladies and gentlemen. All in as Daigo will shout, "Wow!" There's also the search and win trivia code, and you could see that Dash will be killing Lucis. Of course, sinunod na dito ni Daigo yung mid laner. Sunod-sunod yung mga membro ng MCL as both go down. Dash will go down as well. But this is in exchange for an inhibitor and the base of MCL opening up. Here comes Bonnie under turret. Lots of hits shouted down. Eminem. Of course, there's the bullets as well from Benz, and UPLB will take themselves their first inhibitor of the game with Daigo as well waiting for the minions here in the mid lane. Gonna go for their second inhibitor.
Yeah, I mean, that was just over-aggressive Eminem. Actually, waste of time yung
Yeah.
ginawa niya kasi namatay siya.
Pwede siya mag-push.
Yeah, pero in any case, it's barely a sacrifice for UPLB because they continue to push in. The dead timers will be there just in time to save them the game. But at this point, it's only like delaying the inevitable.
Yes, man. That initiate, of course.
Grabe, isipin nyo, yung tank pa, yung inuna ni Daigo, panalo pa rin sila sa teamfight. So easily deleting Lucis. Si Dash pa yung nakakuha na kill, yung support pa. Grabe.
Yes.
And easily they're able to get this one. Eminem, again, a bit overconfident here, but again, really doesn't cost much as they're going to be getting the third Drake, which again just adds insult to injury because they don't even need these objectives to end the game.
They really don't need these objectives to win a game. They could even just force the mid lane, send Daigo in one of these open inhibitor lanes. That's one, ladies and gentlemen. And you know, a miracle played here. If you really want to account kung paano pa makakabawi dito yung MCL, guys, is actually just a complacent dive within the Nexus turrets.
Yeah.
Within the Nexus turrets. Doon sa eastern side ng base mismo dito ng Malayan Colleges. Multiple hits na mag-isang papasok siguro yung mga katulad ni Daigo. Very, very unlikely. Very slim.
And I mean, I guess you have to look no, pag tinignan mo yung gold lead and yung time, yung unang tatanungin siguro is, how did this happen? Na sobrang bilis, 21 minutes in, 10,000 gold lead agad din nakuha nila. And I mean, it really all just boiled down to the laning phase.
Yes.
Na Daigo and Benz just got totally out of control, and it ended up translating into the other lanes. Kasi after Daigo got that snowball, everything changed the moment na nag-bot lane fight lahat.
Yeah.
It all started with that bot lane fight because the moment Daigo was able to TP down that bot lane, they got several kills, they got the first turret, and then it just snowballed.
You know what's interesting about Akled? Ang taas din ng cleanup mechanic niya.
Yeah.
Kahit madelay siya ng teleport, as long as
Yeah.
they're still teammates, he can actually chase down targets. There's lots and lots of mobility na Akled, not just accounting for his ult, but actually on his jousting dito. And you can see, so we won't be seeing a 1-0-4 or even a 0-1-4, but rather 0-0-5. So, UPLB not even gonna be opting in taking that Baron. You know, it's just a matter of initiating mula kay Daigo. Let's see. There you go. Okay, ultimate to be cast. Of course, ayun na nga po yung sinasabi natin ng pang-kontra sana. But look at Daigo. He's not gonna go. He's not gonna back down. He knows that he got the Oriana Shockwave. And yeah, Daigo will be brought to half health. Not even gonna scare Skarl away. And yes, it is the final inhibitor to go down against MCL. UPLB would take this game convincingly.
Grabe. Sobrang sayang yung team composition ng MCL. We were waiting throughout the game to see the picks, to see the wombo combos with the TF, with the Darius moving into the side lanes to get those skirmishes. But they're not able to do it.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, UPLB are your top seed pretty much for South Luzon.
And this is not a bad draft by MCL, ha? Okay, ang may questionable draft pa nga dito, it would be UPLB. Okay, because there's, you know, a visible lack of front line compared to the likes of a Nautilus or even a Gragas, di ba? Instead, we got Akled. Akled is doing well in solo queue. That is solo queue, guys. You know, it's very different when it comes to if you're accounting for organized play. Pero I'd say this is not just in terms of draft, this is skill level.
Skill level talaga.
Heavily, guys.
UPLB is a team that all regions being part of LCL have to look at kasi having pro play experience in your team, sobrang laking advantage niya, sobrang laking asset niya for a collegiate team. Because not everyone in the collegiate team has the privilege na magkaroon ng pro play experience. So you can see from the damage starts, grabe. Wow, Oriana actually dealing because all the shockwaves
Shockwaves,
the moment na mag-SS itong si Kled, simpleng ER lang ni Oriana, madaling shockwave setup na yun. So, great job again from UPLB. GG well played, and again, looking like a top contender, not just for their region,
not
pero
just for the
whole
region.
LCL.
Yeah, I'd say I'm gonna call it, it's very likely UPLB would be included in the top 1 spot kahit hindi pa kompleto yung kanilang games dito at ang dami pa nilang games na lalaroin. I'm just really curious ilan pa yung ide-default.
Well, yun ang tanong.
Yun pa rin so far talaga nakakapagpigil kay UPLB. Based on history lang yan Based on history lang yan. So far yun po talaga yung nangyayari sa UPLB because as Amplifier has mentioned here, I think di nga lang talaga sa conference mismo nila. Inter-conference then they might, enter the top 4.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of teams to look forward to pa rin. Like their brothers, for example, or their neighbors. UP Diliman also are
there's
looking
the likes
very
of
good.
University of Iloilo,
TIP,
Metro West Conference, TIP.
A lot to look forward to. But, again, UPLB showing na they're definitely a contender.
Very, very, might be an outlier for this league. Let's see though, kasi nakikita natin yung Olfu medyo bumabalik na. Pero, ayan, ladies and gentlemen, and we're yet to see the likes of De La Salle Dasma muli. As you could see that for the standings, there is UPLB. Excelsior, okay? He's gonna be staying on the number 3 spot with 4 wins.
Yeah,
okay.
Definitely.
And 1
Grabe.
lose.
So looking at the standing, there it is finalized. The whole conference finalized out, and we'll have to see right now. Congratulations to UPLB for winning the last game of the day. And now we're going to be proceeding over to our interview. Na biglaan sinet up na katabi ko na po, bigla. Alright. So yeah, alright. So here's our interview, guys, of course. Konting introduction lang kung sino ka and your team, of course.
I'm UPLB Benz, role as ADC, and Yan.
Okay. So again, guys, this is Benz. Siya yung Jin kanina for the previous game. And grabe, sobrang dominating ng performance niyo actually for both games today, no? So you guys had a very nice performance. And sinasabi namin kanina ni Shinbu that you guys look like a contender not only for your region but for yung buong league itself. So una-una, syempre, how does it feel na where do you guys think you are as a team na sobrang dominating niyo? Do you think actually na is your team confident you can make it, for example, to like the top 4 of LCL? How do you guys feel as a team?
Ngayon po, nagiging komportable na po kami sa isa't isa. Kasi po syempre, bago po si Daigo sa amin, kailangan namin ng adjustments, yung mga pinag-uusapan namin team comps and whatnot. Syempre, kailangan rin ng practice. Kaya, for now, I think na magiging maganda po yung performance namin.
Okay, that's good. Okay, actually, question din about si Daigo, no? Kasi yun na, alam naman natin lahat na galing siya from pro play experience and then he kind of disappeared for a while after Naga dropped out of PGS. So, I wanted to ask you, kamusta yung pag-adjust ng team nyo sa isang pro player? Like, what issues, for example, did you face? Tapos, paano nyo na-solve as a team?
Yun, syempre, para sa akin, kailangan namin ma-meet yung standards niya. Siyempre, yun. Pero feeling ko yung iba naman naming ka-team ay okay naman. Pero for me personally, feeling ko kailangan ko pa ng practice. Kaya as long as may time ako, nagpa-practice po ako solo queue or flex. Pero preferably flex gawa nung minsan kasi sa scrims, wala kami mahanap. Ang layo ng rank namin. Hindi kami maka-flex as 5 as a team.
Yeah. I think that's a sentiment that a lot of teams here face, yung problema sa scrims kasi yung minsan medyo mahirap maghanap ng partner, so when teams want to improve, parang ang hirap na wala kayong mahanap na partner kasi yung flex parang ang very hindi siya value adding na games kasi yun nga. Pero siguro yung final na question na lang, no, which team are you looking forward to facing the most among all of the teams, no, sa league natin dito sa LCL?
Dalawa actually.
Sige, okay lang.
Kasi yung last time, 'di ba, last LCL, yung TIP malakas talaga. Ayun nga yung nangyari sa amin. Tsaka syempre yung UPD. Kasi kilala ko rin sila. Magagaling sila para yun.
Alright, so again guys, this is Benz from UPLB. Congratulations again to UPLB for winning their 2 games today, with a very dominant performance. Again guys, do watch out for the future weeks. South Luzon is finally over, so natapos na po ang phase na to, so do look out for the future phases of the Lenovo LOL Collegiate League. So again, guys, I'm Amplifier. We were your shoutcasters today earlier with Shinbu, and we'll be seeing you guys next time. So thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you guys.
Medyo pa iba-iba. Teleport na magagaling mula syempre dito kay Lucis, who will go down first. Then the third steps by Guardian. Here comes the Oriana Shock with the 2 members, Asuka and Johnny as well, with 4 members here of MCL focusing on Eminem. But things are looking so sad for them as Ben's in the front line. Bullet double kill into the ADC. Here comes Daigo, puts in the drone dito kay Lucis with 5 members of UPLB just going big. 5-0. Galing mula kay Barty. He gets removed here as Daigo will join this fight as well. Losing an awkward spot. 3 members will collapse onto him as Daigo does the work under turret. Oh my god. That is just too much. Just a massacre is to be done here by the squad. Excelsior of UPLB. Double kill. Even dash without no down. In the inner turrets na yung pinagtatrabahuan dito ng UPLB. There's the 2-man shockwave. All of the follow-up. Daigo in the front line. But rather the one who's going to be taking third lanes would be Snake. Kill is given until loses. Now in the afterlife.
The game has snowballed and Benz getting caught.
Hindi pa rin available yung pagkakilo ni Bonnie and he might be available as well. Yung mismong champion. Exhaust on Asuka. All thinking he has the range. Big party. There's the flash. If I loses, gets the decimate on Benz. In the backline, there is Daigo. Receives the ultimate shut down by Johnny. The chase is on. Ace in the whole flash as Daigo will shout. Woohoo! There's also the search and trivia code and you can see that Dash will be killing Lucis. Of course, sinunod na dito ni Daigo yung mid laner. Sunod-sunod yung mga membro ng MCL as both go down. Dash will go down as well. But this is an exchange for an inhibitor and the base of MCL opening up. Here comes Bonnie under turret. Lots of hits shouted down. Eminem. Of course, there's the bullets as well from Ben.
Daigo.
Okay, ultimate to the gas. Of course, ayun na nga po yung sinasabi natin ng pang-kontra sana. But look at Daigo. He's not gonna back down. He knows that he got the Oriana Shockwave. And And yeah, Daigo will be brought to battle, not even gonna scare Scarl away. And yes, it is the final inhibitor to go down against MCL. UPLB will take this game convincingly.
Grabe. Sobrang sayang yung team composition ng MCL. We were waiting throughout the game to see the picks, to see the wombo combos with the TF, with the Darius moving into the side lanes to get those skirmishes. But they're not able to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, UPLB are your top seed pretty much for South Luzon.
And this is not a bad draft by MCL, ha? Okay, ang may questionable draft pa nga dito.